Welcome back. These are your up-to-the-minute Metropolitan Division standings, and the Devils are only 2 points in back of the Flyers for that third spot and an automatic playoff berth in the division. But look how close they are now to the wild card. The Maple Leafs and Red Wings, who battled in the Winter Classic, have 46 and 47 points. So the Devils not only are close to the third spot, but close to the wild card race as well. The Penguins have 59 points, but they are not leading the NHL. It's the Chicago Blackhawks with 64 points, who right now have the most points in the league, Steve.
Big test, Deb, isn't it? Ryan Carter, in his words, took a knuckle sandwich from his own assistant coach's son 34 days ago. It wasn't the punch, but the fall that injured him, Ryan says. And he's back with his familiar line mates, at least at the start. We're expecting that tonight. Steven Gianta and Steve Bernier, good to see 20 back in red and ready to go tonight. The referees, Brian Pakmara, Chris Rooney, Tony Sericolo, Lonnie Cameron are the linesmen. Devils start out with the Travis Zajac line. That, of course, means Dinas Zubras flanked on his left, Jaromir Jagr on his right. By and large, it's been the Devils' best line this year, and we're underway tonight at the Rock as Zajac steers this into the Chicago zone, and quickly an icing call.
Tonight's key players are brought to you by Pure Hockey. No one has more hockey sticks at the lowest prices guaranteed than Pure Hockey. And that Patrick Kane knows how to use a hockey stick, Steve. There again, lead Chicago in goals and points. Got a goal the last time these two teams met. Travis Zajac's going to have a big night tonight. I got a feeling he's going to see a lot of Jonathan Toews, who's been outstanding on the face-offs as well. Remember, he used his shoulder to score the game-winning goal against the Islanders. Travis did, but he's going to have a challenge tonight as he goes against his fellow player from Winnipeg.
And here's the man with the puck now. Drops it back for Patrick Sharp, whose shot didn't get much on it. And it's taken here by Dinas Zubras, but he has to fight Marian Hossa for it along the far boards. Top line, not much of a weakness, if there is one at all, for the Blackhawks. They're all good offensively and defensively, and they've drawn the first penalty here.
Well, I've heard, last night wasn't the best game for Chicago, and their standards are high. So they want to come out strong. Devils, after being embarrassed against the Hawks December 23rd in Chicago, want the same. And there you see Mark Fayne just gets a step behind the play, and he's got to reach out, and his stick comes between the skates of the Hawk player, who goes down, and he goes to the box. And this is not the way the Devils wanted to start.
Their penalty kill has been so good, killing off all 9 opportunities by the opposition in the last 3 games. And it has to do it tonight against the third-ranked power play in the National Hockey League, which belongs to Chicago. Antti Raanta gives here to Nick Leddy. He was one of the goal scorers in that 5-2 Chicago victory 11 days ago at United Center. Picks up Patrick Kane, who's over the line. Let's see if the Hawks get set up. Chris Versteeg, the ex-Florida Panther, sees that pass taken away, and Andy Green will skate it out to center.
Well, Andy Green said to me, Steve, after the game in Chicago, he said, we weren't very good, but I don't want to downplay the Chicago Blackhawks. They made a lot of things happen, put us in bad positions that contributed to us not playing well. So they're all curious. All the players are curious, especially the Devils, just to see how they're going to match up now at home. They're fresh. It's a new year, and they look like they've got a whole better start than they did that night in Chicago.
Pete DeBoer said he was glad the rematch came so quickly against them. He wants that game fresh in his players' minds. Picked up here, Andrew Shaw, taken off the boards by Marian Hossa. Dropped back to the point. Sharp was covering, but he has to retreat. Taken here by Duncan Keith. Highest scoring defenseman in the National Hockey League. Plays it across, and Toews dishes off here to Marian Hossa. Back to the point. Sharp able to control this time. Gives here to Keith. Now the Blackhawks set. Patrick Sharp with a drive. Deflected away. Picked up by Ryan Carter on for his first shift, but not out of the zone. Keith trying to hold it in. Instead, he'll take it back to center. Picked up here by Andrew Shaw. He's the man with great net presence on this power play, but only 15 seconds to go for Chicago with the man advantage. Keith return pass for Toews, and cleared away by Adam Henry.
Well, the Devils forwards outstanding here on this penalty kill. They've been quick, they've been aggressive, and they've jumped on the man with the puck right away, Steven. That's what you want to do with Chicago.
Penalty time is up. Mark Bain is out of the box as this deflects off Ryder's stick and out of play.
Well, the goaltending matchup is presented by Sport Chapter 3.0. It's more fun to watch the game with Sport Chapter. Get the free app now. Antti Raanta, I don't know how many more games he's going to play with Crawford back healthy, but when he's been there, Joe Quenneville said he's helped himself and he's helped the team because they've done very well, you see, in the wins and the losses. And Marty Brodeur just on a real nice roll, Steve. 5-1-1, and against this Hawk team, his numbers are very impressive as well.
Last 5 starts for Marty. He has not been defeated in regulation. Picked up here, Klo in the corner with Adam Henrique. Dropped it back towards the point. Bouncing puck. Handled well. Zidlitsky to Jelena. His try is blocked away. Niklas Hjalmarsson, the Swedish defenseman, takes this to Chicago and gives it ahead. Marcus Kruger gives here to Brandon Bowler. Quickly punched back the other way. Here's Klo for New Jersey. Swept off his stick by Brent Seabrook. And he gives to Keith. Two of the top defensemen in the league paired together for Chicago and probably for Team Canada in the Olympics too.
Might be too many men on the ice for the Devils. I'm counting here real quickly and I see 6 red shirts skating, and look to my left and Marty Brodeur makes 7. Let's look at it here. 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there's a 7th one coming out. So there was 6 on the ice, Steve, at all times. No one caught it in time to even try to hustle and dive back off. So not what the Devils wanted. They did such an effective job of killing that first penalty against them, but now they got to do it again.
You see number 9 in the box. We haven't even introduced the man yet. That's Mike Sislo. This is his NHL debut.
In his first shift, skates across the ice to the penalty box.
Dinah super shorthanded for the Devils. A shot blocked away and sent into the corner. We'll give you the full dossier on Sislo as we move along in the circumstances of his call-up. That caught more than a few of us by surprise early this evening. Picked up here, Patrick Sharp across to Keith. Able to control and dishes off here for Taves. Second power play of the night in the opening minutes of the game for Chicago. Here's Sharp. Wrist shot. Couldn't get it on goal and taken here by Keith instead for Chicago. Now Sharp once again fires and he rang it off the post and cleared away by Zajac. Patrick Sharp scored twice against the Devils in Chicago. Nearly made it 3 this year against New Jersey there.
No shots on goal yet for the Hawks.
Versteeg will play this in deep. Waiting for it opposite side. Marian Hossa. 2 Devils to contend with. Nick Leddy trying to keep it alive at the point and deflected away by Steven Gianta.
That's 3 minutes of power play time for the Hawks, Steve, and they still don't even have a shot on net. I know they came close to the goalpost, but Devils just terrific, especially the forwards pressuring the puck.
Hossa now over the line. He's got Brandon Saad heading for the net. Goes into the corner. Versteeg able to pick this up. Tries to shake loose of Lokdianov. Well played back to the point. Seabrook for Leddy. Back to Brent Seabrook. Had a goal last night in Chicago's comeback on the island before they lost an OT. Taken here by Hossa. Quick shot, the one-timer. And denying Chris Versteeg is Martin Brodeur. A dozen seconds to go on the power play. Salvador controls the loose puck. Hossa knocked it down. It deflects towards Marty's crease. Taken here again by Chicago. Versteeg drops it back to the point. Seabrook a drive. Saved by Brodeur. Penalty time is up. We're back to 5-on-5 and another stoppage in play.
The puck was hit down with the high stick. No penalty there. Here you're going to see Sharp. High and wide, I think. I think he misses the top corner. What happens here? Oh, might have hit Bryce Elder. I don't know. That went in the complete direction that it was intended. But here's the one from the point with a screen by Shaw. Marty Brodeur, a little push. But the goalpost came through for him there. And the 2 shots that Marty had to stop, Steve, were very sharp. But again, the Devils don't want any more power plays against.
Now this is a line he can put out intact here in the aftermath of 2 big kills. That's the Zajac-Zubrus-Yager line, and this is Travis Zajac deep in the Chicago zone. Dinas works it back to the point. Jelena across Zidlitsky. Redirection by Zajac. Pops high over the crossbar. Yager using his strength to muscle it towards goal, but skated away here by Chicago. And now Patrick Kane darts back the other way. Tries to make his way around the long reach of Jelinek and rides off one of the best in the game. Loose at the side of the net. Taken here by Zajac, who settles it down to Zubris. Worked across here. Eric Zidlitsky over the Chicago line. Fought off by Nick Leddy. Now Yager following up for New Jersey. Nick Leddy, another man who was in that U.S. Olympic conversation. A dark horse, granted, playing well enough early in his career, at least merits some consideration. And the shot here by Leddy is fired wide. Brian Clough and Henrique help work this free to the stick of Andy Green. We've played better than 6.5 minutes. Scoreless here on this Friday night at the Rock. Puck comes loose to the stick of Brandon Bolig, but knocked away from him by New Jersey. And now Clough along the near boards gives here to Fane. New Jersey trying for what would be just its second 3-game win streak this season. One of its best stretches of the year, 5-1-2 in its last 8 coming into tonight. Gianto winds it around the boards, punched right back in by Sharp. Here's the top line for Chicago on once again. Work free, and Andy Green takes it in his own zone and plays it ahead just out of the reach of Gianto. Let's see if we get the icing call. We do.
Well, the Devils want to try and slow down the Blackhawks, and I love, this is a message hit by Jelinek. It is Patrick Kane. He could have kind of leaned in on him, but watch how he gives him that little extra to just tell him, hey, you come down my side, it could get dangerous tonight because I'm here to play. And just a great finish by Eric Jelinek. And you know, his offense isn't as prominent as it was earlier, but it's plays like that that's going to keep him effectively in the lineup. And that was just a great start by Eric, as well as all the Devils. I know they don't have a shot yet, Steve, but I think if I had said to you the Hawks are going to get 2 power plays in the first 5-6 minutes and not only get no shots or 1 shot, you'd say, I'll take that.
Jelinek's cooled off, as you mentioned. He has no points in his last 6. If he neutralizes Patrick Kane tonight, the Devils take that trade off now and 100 times more. Taken here by Gianto in his own end. Punched ahead. Fighting for the loose puck is Ryan Carter. It'll come instead to Nick Leddy. Here's Taves. So young in his career and already a 2-time Stanley Cup champion captain. Icing again against New Jersey. We've gone to the well here a few times.
Well, when you're the highest scoring team in the league, doesn't guarantee you're going to win the Stanley Cup, but you're going to be there when it counts. And look at this, 156 goals, leads all the NHL on the road. That 3.48 is the highest in the league. And they just don't have many weaknesses, Steve. But Joel knows that there are some other good teams in this league. We saw Pittsburgh the last game. There's a couple more out west. And that's not counting the teams that can come up and surprise you in any given round. So, long way for the Hawks to go to repeat.
They're 8-1-3 in their last dozen games. You want to say the Blackhawks are hot, but it's really just what they've been the entire season since they opened the gate.
Yeah.
Picked up here by Travis Zajac and chips it out of the zone. Hjalmarsson plays this ahead to Versteeg. He's hit at center ice by Salvador. Just the 3rd game back in the lineup for the Devils captain. Icing this time is against Chicago.
Well, you know what? The Devils haven't been too shabby here, especially in the second night. But in the first game, Steve, and that's the game tonight. They play in Buffalo tomorrow. This is the one that they want to change. They want that first game to start to look closer to what the second game in back-to-backs have been, and that they hope begins tonight.
Played across here, Eric Jelinek, who fires a wrist shot wide. Picked up here by Zidlitsky. Shot by Mike Sislo. That attempt is blocked away and out of play. Give us a chance to step aside with 11:03 to go in the opening period.
Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And how about these Devils? Last 8 games, Steve, not bad. 5-1-2. That only loss was in Chicago. They've earned 12 out of a possible 16 points. The other thing is, Steve, 5 of those 8 were 1-goal games where they at least got a point. So they're learning how to win or at least grab a point when the game is close. And I think it's going to be a continuation of what's happened so far.
Eric Zidlitsky off the draw. Centering try. Redirected in front. That was Boucher trying to finish it. but taken away on the opposite side. Battling forward is Big Ben Smith for Chicago. Worked loose to the stick of Duncan Keith. Devils with a win tonight can move into a tie for third in the Metropolitan Division. Hey, someone finally cooled off the Flyers last night. That was Colorado that did so. Jelena delivers a hit on Marcus Kruger, and the puck taken here by Zidlitsky.
And an offside here.
Let's go downstairs. Ken Danico. Kenny.
Steve Chico, I heard you mention about the no shots on goal. Devils didn't have many last week in Chicago as well, but a lot of that because they've had 2 minor penalties already. You do not want to get into penalty trouble against this potent Hawks team. The Devils got to get skating, get everybody involved, but if they're in the box, they can't do that. We saw the Islanders be very effective against the Hawks last night. The Devils have to start jumping, get their legs going, and get some forecheck on the Chicago Blackhawks to get something going in this hockey game.
Thank you very much, Kenny. Pete DeBoer watched that game in its entirety, and he said what the Islanders prove, you play your game, even the best are vulnerable, including Chicago. Shot by Saad goes off the side of the net. Brandon Saad getting a chance to play here with Jesus and Patrick Kane. He's typically been a third liner for this Blackhawks team. Behind Brodor's cage. Into the corner, Henrique delivers a hit on Jesus, but the puck's still loose in the corner. Big Michael Jesus battles back, and the Hawks work it back to the point. Here's Duncan Keith with a shot, got to Brodor, and he got a leg on it. Along the near boards, this time Keith and the Blackhawks have to retreat.
Well, another thing about the Islander game, Steve, it's not what you give on the little numbers on the scoreboard. It's the big numbers. And you know, the Hawks were very good in the first period, but they didn't get a goal. And that's what you want to do when you're playing the Blackhawks. Keep them off the score sheet as long as you can. That's what the Islanders did. Hawks scored late in the second and early in the third. And then it's tough for them to get 4 or 5 goals if they're only scoring in one period.
Well, you talked about it. They set the standard so high in Chicago. 37 shots they had last night. They were very disappointed in their performance, even with that. Yeah, Nabokov was good. Picked up here by Merrill. Chips it out of the zone. Bouncing puck picked up here at center ice. Tays battling for it with Zubris right at the center dot, and now taken here by Salvador instead. 8:45 to go opening period. Devils are looking for their first shot. Remember the last game against Chicago, they had just 2 in the opening period. Fired in here by Zidlitsky. Bernier shovels this in deep. Here's Carter. Works it back to the point. A drive by Zidlitsky. It got to Antti Raanta, who made the save. Holding the zone. Gianta. Quick shot. Saved by Raanta. Loose at the side of the net. Funneling one in front is Bernier. And the Devils keep it alive. Here's Jelena. Warming to the task for the first time tonight is New Jersey. Jelena. Wrist shot. He fired it off the backboard and picked up here. Aduya trying to get it out of the zone. Devils have the Hawks pinned in a bit, though. There's Stieg back in his own end. Devils in a change. Bernier delivers a hit, and now Chicago. Shaw with his pocket pick, though, by Boucher. Walks in and shoots, and he fired and just missed. Sislov. Return pass for Boucher, and Fane able to hold the zone. Excellent surge here by the Devils. Laknianov twists and turns, now holds, drops it back to the point. Green here, wrist shot, fired it just wide. Fane with the pinch. Battling with Brian Bickle. All New Jersey in this last minute and a half of the game, and now just trying to take a breath is Versteeg, but Green fires it right back in. First 3 shots by the Devils, all in that surge. Sheldon Brookbank, the ex-Devil, gets this out to center. Picked up here by Patrick Kane. Threads the needle for Jesus. Backhand try, gloved away by Brodor. Henrique funnels one ahead to Ryan Clough at center, and he dumps in. This is the line that produced both goals in the New Year's Eve win over the Penguins. Clough turns and shoots off the backboard. Shot by Ryder, wouldn't go. Henrique with a try. He stopped as well. Ryder back to the point. Across, Merrill shoots. Saved by Raanta. Oh, what a beauty. And taken away by Chicago. Here's Saad. Firing off the backboard, poked away by Brodor, and Ryder gives this to Clough. Kruger reverses course. It's loose behind Brodor's cage.
Well, we got a hockey game tonight so far, Steve.
Crowd comes alive on this Friday at Prudential Center. They've had cabin fever, I suspect, many for the last day and a half. Here's Hjalmarsson, who has this for Chicago. Pounded by Zajac, gives here to the ex-Devil Aduya. Loose puck picked up at center ice by Zajac. Gives here to Jagr, who sends it in deep. Those two on with Zubras. Jaromir Jagr tried to lay it back for Zubras. It's still loose. Shot by Zajac. Saved by Raanta. The rebound, and he covers up. 5:49 to go. We're scoreless.
Well, as they say in music, the band's back together. Carter, Gionta, Bernier. They get this crowd electrified with some great forechecking, getting it to the point, getting pucks on the net. Nice hit there again by Jelena. Good shot by Gionta. Bernier can't quite get to the loose biscuit, but then the next line came out, and we're even better. Here's Boucher with a steal, just rings it off the outside of the goal post. Another shot there by Ryder. Adam Henrique, who's been red hot, just can't jam home the rebound, and the Devils just don't stop. Now this is the third line. That's 3 lines in a row that have come out with great pressure. There's Zajac is stopped by Raanta, who has been the first star of this game so far, Steve. He's been brilliant here in the last 4 minutes.
11 and a half minutes in, the man doesn't see a puck. Then they pepper him with 6 shots, some of them very difficult, and Antti Raanta tremendous in that last surge.
And he's playing for his life right now. We'll get back to that.
Downstairs to Deb Lacey. Deb.
All right, we'll be here with the GMC intermission report as soon as this first period is over. We'll have an interview outside the Devils' room, and Ken Danico will join us. It's all coming up on the GMC intermission report, guys.
Thank you, Deb.
Well, Raanta, Steve, there's 3 goalies now. The Hawks picked up Jason LaBarbera to really back up Crawford, who's going to play the majority of the games. Corey will get to that. He played last night, but they didn't want to get him back-to-back just yet. So, this is his showtime, and boy, is he performing and putting on a show.
He can't go AHL after this surge. It's almost an injustice. They were 7-1-2 in the 10 games that Crawford didn't play, and he played them all. Hjalmarsson back in his own zone, picked up here at center ice by Hossa. Puck just taken away by Zubras, and now Jagr dishes off to Zajac. Travis puts the brakes on, looks at his options, gives here to Jagr. Jaromir down low, shakes loose of Jonathan Toews. Poke checked away by Aduya, but Jagr stays with it, throws one in front. It just got by Zajac.
I think it bounced over his stick, Steve. Bouncing pucks, just the plight of every good hockey player.
Here comes Patrick Sharp the other way for Chicago. The power move, what a beautiful poke check by Salvador.
Price having a good game.
Puck came to Brodeur, whisks it away, and now Bernier sends this out to center. Carter busting into the Chicago zone. Got by Brookbank. Chicago defenseman now tries to recover, and Brandon Saad gives here to Patrick Kane. Here come the Hawks the other way. Kane throws it across. He's got Saad at the doorstep. Oh, Brodeur with the denial there at the doorstep. Steven Gionta in on that as well, Chico.
Great back check by Steven. Yeah, he saved the goal there. Wow. But he has been up and down this ice more than any other player so far tonight.
That was Nick Leddy going for the goal, taken here by Klo, and played across to Ryder. Offside is New Jersey. If nothing else, we can catch a breath. Great pace tonight in the first. No score.
Here's what you like about number 11, Steven Gionta. He does not get mesmerized by the puck or the play and forget about his number 1 responsibility, which is the man he came into the zone with, and that was Nick Leddy, and Nick Leddy's feeling the heat. Now that is elevated. Nick tries to take it on his backhand, probably could have put it in, except for the pressure of Steven Gionta. He knew he had to get it done quickly. He mishandled the puck, and then Steven was there to sweep it away with his right foot. Just a great job of playing defensive back check.
The three amigos are back. They wear 11, 20, and 18. Back in the Devils zone, Zidlitsky plays it across. Ryan Klo has the puck for the Devils. Nice pass to Ryder. Hop, skip, and a jump over Bickle. That's as far as he got, though. Keith back in his own zone. Andrew Shaw back to the 2010 Norris Trophy winner. Folks who follow the Blackhawks on an everyday basis will tell you Keith is playing better than he did in that Norris Trophy winning year. Jelena plays it across. Here's Sislo. Mike Sislo in his NHL debut threw it into the Chicago bench, face-off in the neutral zone.
Well, welcome back, Ryan Carter, and here's how he got hurt. Now, we want to show you, this is Marcus Foligno. Watch his hand. There, it's on the glass. And Ryan was telling me that confused him. See, there it goes back to the glass, helping with his balance. But Ryan's going to throw an uppercut here. But then you see again Marcus with his hand on the glass. I've never seen that. He just kept it there. And Ryan said, I didn't see it a couple times because he kind of screened me on it. And then just out of nowhere, wham, I got caught with a right. And he said it wasn't the blow, though, that did the damage. It was his knee when he crumpled to the ice.
So he thought Foligno was done, and apparently there was more.
I'm going to ask Marcus if I see him tomorrow, is that planned? We play the Buffalo Sabres in the Devil Crew tomorrow night. And Ryan said, I never had anyone do that for me before.
Assistant coach has to tell you the kid's got a good right hand, too, doesn't he? Picked up here by Hossa. Off the stick of Green. Marian Hossa walks in, and it's poked away by Mark Bain. Drop back to the point. Hjalmarsson gives here to Johnny Aduya. Throws it to the side of the net. That's where Sharp was operating. Brodeur said, get out of here. Jágr twists, turns, throws one in the direction of Zubris. Devils will change here. 2:12 to go in the opening period. Here's Sharp. Nice job to keep himself onside. Brodeur plays the puck. Not a bad job of it to Merrill. And now Sislo plays it across here. Reed Boucher with Lockdiana. Fourth line tonight constituted of guys who can move with the puck. Lockdiana plays it ahead. Cam Jansen's been wonderful. The work he's done with this fourth line. He's getting the night off. Played back in deep. Boucher picks it up here. The one-time shot by Sislo, and a save is made by Ranta.
That was impressive. Whoa, that was a quick shot, Steve. To catch the puck the way that Sislo did and then rip it on goal. Whoa.
Want to say that's his fourth shift of the night. Open some eyes. Quick shot there by Saad, and Brodeur with the stop on Brandon Saad. In front, Saad whacks at it in midair. Fanned on the second chance, and Salvador has got it. Salvador locked in a battle with Saad once again. Chicago stays strong on the puck, but it's still loose in the Devils' end and skated away here by Ryan Carter with just over a minute to go in the first. Keith and Seabrook, top defensive pairing, back on for Chicago. Cycled in by Giunta to Carter. Picked up here by Carter. Tried to play this for Bernier. There's a penalty coming up, and this time it's against the Blackhawks.
Okay, I want to show you good D and good offense. Now, 2-on-1. Look at what Mark Fane does. He goes down on one knee and gets the stick out, breaks down up the dangerous Hossa on a 2-on-1. There's the play by Sislo right off a crowd of people. He's able to grab that puck and get it on net, and there you see him on the forecheck and play along the boards. And here is Carter. That line again, Giunta and Bernier. And there's a hook there by, is it Kruger? I'm not sure.
It is.
It is Kruger there. There's so many sticks and elbows in one place, couldn't tell.
So let's watch the Devils power play go to work. Zidlitsky is on and dishes off here to Dinas Zubris. No Patrick Elias. He's missing from the lineup tonight. Quick shot by Jágr is blocked away in front. So that clearly affects the first wave of the Devils power play. Taken here by Jágr again. Zubris works it back to the point. Green holds it on the backhand, plays it forward. Turning and trying to clear the zone is Duncan Keith. He could not. And now Taves will clear it.
Well, Steve, there are only 2 penalty killers units in the NHL that are worse than the Hawks. Now, figure that one out. With all that talent, how good they are in other areas, their penalty killing has been awful, and the Devils want to take advantage of that, probably to start the second period.
4 seconds to go here in the first. Jarred loose, so Zajac. Andy Green cutting just a bit too far, and on that note, the first period is done.
And a good one. Devils responded. They came ready to play. They said that they were a much better team than showed up in Chicago, and they sure proved that in the first.
8 shots for the Devils, 6 for the Chicago Blackhawks. And if you're looking for the inside scoop on Jersey's team, sign up now for the Devils Power Play to gain access to breaking news and insider information sent right to your inbox. Receive special promotions on tickets for upcoming games, as well as pre-sale information for all events at The Rock. Check out the Fan Zone on NewJerseyDevils.com for more information. 1 minute, 10 seconds of carryover penalty time in the second period. Marcus Kruger will start that in the box. In the meantime, let's go downstairs. Steven Giunta is with Deb. Tomorrow night on MSG Plus 2, the Devils take on the Sabres. Live coverage gets underway at 6:30 with Visa Devils Game Night. Devils Sabres tomorrow night, MSG Plus 2. Check MSG.com for local channel location. Busy day for the Devils, wrapped up with the game you're watching here against the defending Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. And right now, we're unsure whether we'll see Matthias Tedenby in a Devils uniform again. Devils made a transaction earlier today. They placed him on non-roster waivers that enabled them to activate Ryan Carter for tonight's game. He'll be assigned to Albany of the AHL only if he's not claimed by another team by noon tomorrow. 1 goal in 15 games. Devils took him with a first-round pick in 2008. Good guy, well-liked. We hope the future holds something good for him, whether it's here or somewhere else. In the meantime, the number 9 is worn by Mike Sislo. Chico, what do we know about him?
Well, you know, he played at University of New Hampshire. He was a pretty good goal scorer his last couple of years there. He's played in the minor leagues in Albany for 3 years, and he's having a real good season, Steve. And, you know, I don't know much about him except, you know, that he can play on the top lines, at least in the American League. You know, he's one of those bubble players that'll always be real good in the HL, but can he get it done in the NHL? And I think that's why Lou Lamoriello called him up. Let's find out. And I think, talking to Matthias Tedenby, in his heart, he kind of hopes he gets picked up. It's just not working out for him here in New Jersey. And I do too. I hope that he gets a chance somewhere else, and maybe he'll have a role or something will change for him where he can show what he's got there. Because it looks like with the Devils, it's always going to be an uphill battle, and that last battle may have been fought. I don't know.
Sislo continuing this trend of players who succeeded in the AHL and have gotten the NHL call-up, a slew of them, as the Devils' power play continues with this offside.
Well, the Albany franchise has been very good to the Devils. Here's another call-up. You think of Jelena, Merrill, Boucher, now Sislo. It's been a good feeder system when the Devils have needed the most.
52 seconds to go in the power play. Marcus Kruger went off late in period 1 for Chicago on a hooking call, and here's Andy Green as the Devils try to strike first. Freshly Zamboni'd sheet of ice as Green dumps into the corner. Hjalmarsson is back to take this for Chicago. Nicklas Hjalmarsson sends it up the gut of the ice and all the way to Martin Brodeur. Change in personnel for the Devils. Jelena steps on. Clough, Henrique, and Ryder. That line intact on the power play's continuation. Johnny Aduya gives here to Hjalmarsson, and the Devils having trouble getting set.
Well, neither power plays look very good so far, Steve. Biggest problem is neither one can get any setup time in the other team's zone.
Clough will dump in. Kruger is out of the box. Just one shot on that Devils power play. That was the tail end of period 1. Kruger plays it across, and here's Jonathan Toews with the return pass to Marcus Kruger. Tries to drop it back for Patrick Sharp. Still has the puck. Walks in and shoots. Saved by Brodeur. The rebound, and it's denied as well.
Well, it was such a good save. Jonathan Toews just slapped the stick on the ice.
Sharp again with a shot. He scores! A wrist shot from Patrick Sharp, and Chicago takes the lead.
Well, you could see why Sharp is a sharpshooter. His 23rd goal, and it's too bad because Marty Brodeur makes a brilliant save here off Sharp and then gets the right leg out to stop Jonathan Toews, who was really ticked at himself. And Eric Jelena trying to go in the middle, Eric. That's not what you've been doing most of the time. You want to go up the boards there, banker off the boards, and live for another day. It's off the cuff or wrist of Marty Brodeur, but, you know, Sharp's just one of the best shooters. And Stevie shoots a lot. Coming in, he had 166 shots on goal. That was the 3rd highest in the National Hockey League.
23rd goal of the season for Patrick Sharp. Instrumental in Chicago's Cup championship last year. He led all players in the Stanley Cup playoffs with 10 goals in that postseason. Devils trail. Mark Payne with a shot blocked away in front. Antti Ranta got the rebound as well. Michael Handzus works this across, pinching in here. Kane overskated the puck, work free here by Chicago. And here's the dangerous Patrick Kane the other way for the Blackhawks. Played it off the back of Sheldon Brookbank. Back come the Devils 3-on-3. Gionta plays it ahead. He has Andy Green in front. Green shoots. He scores!
Well, that's the kind of response a team wants, who's just been scored upon. And it's a defenseman, Andy Green, jumping up after the Hawks turn it over in the middle slot area of the Devils zone. And this is a good transition game. Look at Bernier. He gives a quick backhander to Steven Gionta. What a pass there by Steven Gionta. You see how he had to elevate that? He had to throw that about 2.5 feet off the ice and get it to lay down right there, and it does on Andy Green's stick. Andy Green's into shields Kane from slashing his stick, and then Andy going 5-hole on the finish. And what a brilliant, oh my goodness.
Back the other way comes Boucher, and a shot saved by Raanta. Oh, the rebound was there. Sislo trying to get on the loose puck, bouncing puck. Taken instead by Chris Versteeg for Florida. Funnels one ahead. Brian Bickle is sealed off by Salvador. So Sharp, the first goal of the game, lone assist to Jonathan Toews. Andy Green answers back. Here's Sislo with a shot. Fired what? Picked it up off the backboard, and that wouldn't go either. Taken here by Salvador. Played across. Boucher tried to pull the trigger. He was knocked down instead by Bickle. Gionta and Bernier get the assists on the tying goal from Andy Green. At center ice, Jágr lost the edge. Here's Jonathan Toews on the loose puck for Chicago. Return pass from Sharp. Centering try by Toews. He's denied by Travis Zajac. Now Salvador tries to take the puck away. Here's Sharp again. Sends it towards goal, and Brodeur will cover up.
We use awesome, excellent a lot, but look at this saucer pass. Look at that thing. That is Steven Gionta. He's only got a small landing area. Andy Green's got to get that in a hurry and then control the puck, which he does. He does his part, and then you see the way he leaned into Kane, so Kane couldn't slash his stick. But what a pass. And I know we use it. Great pass, awesome pass. I got to tell you, that's one of the best I've seen all season, Steve, because there was a lot of traffic, and it couldn't be too short, couldn't be too long, too high, too low. It had to be perfect, and Steven Gionta did it all.
7th goal of the year for Andy from Gionta and Bernier, and here's Andy Green once again. Plays it across. Michael Ryder couldn't control, and now Hossa quickly ahead for Sharp. He's all over the puck tonight. Quick shot by Hossa, saved by Brodeur. Clough darts back for the Devils. Duncan Keith back in his own zone to get it by the on-rushing Michael Ryder. It's a good one tonight on this Friday. Glad you've joined us on MSG+. Quick shot taken by Brandon Bollig, blocked away by Brodeur. And Jelena has it for the Devils. Worked to head out to center. Nice job by Clough to collect and dump in. Opening 4+ minutes of the second period. The goals have come in period 2. Marty in the trapezoid gives here to Marek Zidlitsky. Lifted out of the zone. Brookbank will give chase. This is an icing call against New Jersey. The trivia question tonight is brought to you by Cadillac. Ice hockey was introduced to the Olympic Games at the 1920 Summer Games. Which 7 countries competed? Those games were at Antwerp, Belgium.
Well, you know, the way you respond to a goal against is you get a goal, and then your goalie makes a great save. And there you see Brodeur getting that shoulder up to stop Hossa.
Bernier bumps with Saad and plays this across. Marek Zidlitsky ahead for Ryan Carter. 1-1 game. In period 2, Bernier chops it back in. Return game to the lineup for Ryan Carter. Injured back on the 30th of November in Buffalo. Shot from the point by Salvador. Blocked away in front. Bernier quickly on the loose puck. Controls for the Devils. He's fought off by Nick Leddy in the corner. Bernier again locked in a battle with Leddy. Taken away by Carter. He tried to pull it back and shoot. Couldn't do it. Instead, back to the point for Salvador. Redirection. That's Zajac who got a piece, and it deflected wide. Devils in the midst of a change. Still have the Hawks pinned in. Zubris behind goal here. Zajac Yager is in front. Now Yager takes this. They cycle it for 68, throws it across the crease and all the way back to the point for Salvador. Sent back in deep. Zubras will let Zidlitsky track it back to the point. Zajac covering, but he has to retreat. Here's Travis Zajac dumping in. Yager quickly into the corner. Centering try for Zubras in front. Letty got in the way of that. Picked up here by Andy Green. His shot softly denied in front, and Handzus plays it away. Nina Zubras backhands one in. Antti Raanta trying to beat the Devils for the second time in a week and a half. This goes all the way down the ice. Icing against Chicago. Here's the story in the Metropolitan Division. Again, with a win, the Devils can move back into a third-place tie with Philadelphia. But look at positions 3 through 7. Those teams are separated by just 4 points. What a fascinating race we seemingly have in store going forward. And it might be more than 3, Chico.
Well, look at all the games are the same. That's what I like. You couldn't say, well, this team's got a game or two in hand on the other. You were dead even, and that's a tough one.
The Rangers trailing Pittsburgh 3-0 as that game continues tonight at the Consol Energy Center. It was Kunitz and UC Jokinen with the first
Penalty
2 goals.
Coming. Sorry, Steve. But good news for Devils fans, it's going to be against the Hawks. So you think you're a big Devils fan? Will try to outmatch Matthias. He's sitting behind the boy in the white jersey who won't sit down. But anyway, he is from Norway. This is his cousin. They walked 5 miles to get this picture. It's in Norway. That's one of the fjords down there. He and his father, who's sitting next to him, flew yesterday in the storm. They got here at 1 o'clock. They flew most of the night, 8 hours from Oslo to come and see this game, Steve. They're here tonight. They're going home on Monday. But still, he's screened out. He'll hopefully give you a shot of young Matthias.
That's loyalty.
Oh, and his cousin, who's maybe not as big a fan, but he walked the 5 miles with him to get those pictures.
Okay, this is a Devils power play, 15 seconds of which is a lap. The ex-Devil, Sheldon Brookbank, guilty of closing his hand on the puck, 6:25 in. Second chance on the power play for the Devils. Hjalmarsson tries to clear it away. Taken instead by Adam Henrique. Back to the point here for John Merrill. Dishes off for Henrique. Back for Merrill. Fires. Save made by Raanta, and it deflects out of play.
Well, here is Matthias. He was so excited. There is that young boy there looking out. And when I told him Marty was playing, because, you know, with back-to-back games, they weren't sure when they left. There he is. He just couldn't believe it. And I got to tell you, it's Johan Hedberg moves the Devils goalie who set up those tickets. His jersey is autographed to Matthias, your friend Marty Brodeur. And the gentleman there, Apley, was telling me that Johan is over scouting the World Juniors for the Devils.
Johan has remained active in the Devils organization this season. Devils made that clear. Quick turnaround shot by Boucher. But whether there was a place for him on the team or not, he was welcome with the organization. Shot by Zidlitsky, save made by Raanta, and it's cleared away. 50 seconds to go in this Devils power play as Marek Zidlitsky starts up again for New Jersey. Boucher, Yager, Zajac and Green also on with the man advantage. Andy Green funnels one in deep. Zajac trying to get on it. Instead, taken away by Seabrook. Green able to hold the zone. Gives here to Yager. Turns, fires, and shoots wide. Back the other way, Marcus Kruger. Over the line, ridden off by Green. Another strong play by Andy Green has been good tonight. Kruger in the corner. Work free, though, to Ben Smith. Knocked off his stick. 15 seconds to go in the man advantage as Zidlitsky has it for the Devils.
Steve, it looks like this game is going to be decided even strength, because neither team's power play has been very powerful.
Oh, Keith picking the pocket of Henrique and sending it back the other way. Penalty time is indeed up. Out of the box is Brookbank. Back to 5-on-5 as Klo gets it back from Adam Henrique and pushes this forward. Hjalmarsson plays this across to Keith. Picks up the captain, Jonathan Toews at center. He's over the line. Bumped by Michael Ryder. Tried to play it back. Taken instead by Klo, who chips it out of the zone. Picked up here by Ryder. Back Back-checking is Patrick Kane. Devils stay on it, though, and here's Michael Ryder with the puck. Pounded by Brookbank. Back to the point for Salvador. Lost the puck in his skates. Look out here. It's Kane over the line. Bunches up, though, with Patrick Sharp. And a play with great promise. Instead, now comes to Taves. Tried to load the gun for Kane. Worked away by the Devils.
Back check again by Gionta.
Bernier plays it across in front. Save made by Ronta. He denies Steven Gionta.
Ah, that would have been sweet. Look at who's back checking here, stealing that puck. Steven Gionta throws it smartly off the boards. Didn't need to get it right on the stick of Steve Bernier, but the spin by Steve Bernier opened up the passing lane, or he would have had nowhere to go with that puck. Instead, he puts it right on the tape and then right into the glove of Ronta, who is really making his mark again tonight. But Steven Gionta, definitely the back checker of the game so far, Steve, which he probably would be a lot of nights, but it's tonight we've noticed it a bunch of times.
Right off the draw, Boucher with a backhander that didn't miss by much. Along the near boards, taken here, Mike Sislo battling for the puck. One here by Lockdiana, plays it across. Sidlitsky shoots. There's Boucher in front. The tip wouldn't go. Versteeg is hit up high. Seabrook plays the puck ahead. Hawks trying to get out of their own zone, and now finally muscled ahead by Andrew Shaw. Played in deep for Brian Bickle, hitting the corner by Zidlitsky. Pass taken away by Versteeg. Center and try loose at the side of the net. Shaw jamming at it, denied by Brodeur. Here's Boucher at center, will dump in. That line at the tail end of its shift. Yager, Zubris, and Zajac step on for the Devils as we get a stoppage in play with 9:46 to go. Middle period, it's 1-1, the Devils in Chicago.
Welcome back to the Rock, where it is 1-1. Stay with us for the Mazda Intermission Report. The Maven will be with us, Stan Fischler. He started in last night's Blackhawk game on Long Island, ranting and raving about the U.S. Olympic Team Committee, and he's going to continue it through this Blackhawk game against the Devils. Looking forward to it on the Mazda Intermission Report, guys.
And speaking of Olympics, Stan was there in 1920, I've heard, so he should get the Cadillac trivia question tonight.
Is any holiday season complete without a Stan Fischler rant and rave? Probably not. Jolison plays it ahead. Good to see the Maven back with us tonight. Picked up here by Marek Zidlitsky. 1-1 game, better than halfway through regulation time. Zidlitsky hopped over his stick, and he works that away from Patrick Kane. First time since 1998, no Devils will be on the U.S. Olympic team. Offside is New Jersey here. Well, the Blackhawks come in as the defending Stanley Cup champions that have won the Cup twice since 2010. And basically what the general manager Stan Bowman and his staff had to do was remake the team almost in its entirety. Only 8 players played on both of those Cup-winning teams. One of them, Dave Bolland, is no longer there. He's with Toronto. But there's the rest of it. They kept the core and changed practically everything else, including the goaltenders.
And they have some good players in the minor league, Steve, coming up, so that really helped as well. Much like when the Devils were winning cups, back in the late 90s, they could lose some players because they had promising rookies playing in their minor system that were ready to step up, and that's certainly been also part of the reason why the Hawks have repeated.
After that first cup, wasn't much of a choice for them. They needed to get bold and take a chance on some of those young players. The salary cap wouldn't let them dictate otherwise. Chalmerson works this ahead along the near boards. Marian Hossa lost his edge, worked across here, and Yager will pick it up for the Devils and dump in. His line to the bench, full change for the Devils. Defense pair is fresh as well. Merrill is with Salvador. The Henrique line is on. Brodeur back in his own end, gives here to Bryce Salvador, and Clough works it as far as center ice. That's all. Merrill funnels it across. Ryder dumps into the Chicago end. Much better performance by the Devils tonight than the one in Chicago 11 days ago. Staff said they were humiliated. They were dominated in every facet of the game that night. Fired right back in by Merrill. We're tied here. And I believe this is an icing call that's bringing the face-off all the way back to the Devils' end.
Well, besides the players, the Blackhawks are in good shape with their coach. That's Mike Kitchen. Yes, he was here the first year. Couldn't get his pants up, I told him. There's Joel Quenneville with the Elvis Presley look here. But, you know, Joel was so underrated. He was an outstanding defender, and there you see him punching one home, and Hector Marini backing him up there. But I said to Kitch, I remember that night, Kitch, you couldn't get your pants up, and I didn't feel real confident that you were going to be strong that night, but Mike Kitchen was so competitive. And you know what I like about those two guys, Steve? They're nice guys, but they can be intense, but they talk to people with a lot of respect. They are a coach that every young boy that I know, I would recommend them playing for them, and every player, even at this level, really admire the way they're treated.
Back into the Devils zone, and great success for Joel Quenneville as well. It was the trivia question last time. The two men along with Jacques Lemaire to play 800 games and coach 1,000 more. Pulling the trigger is Lokdianov. That shot blocked away. Punched ahead by Zelina, but taken instead by the Hawks. Here's big Michael Handzus at center ice. Bickle tried to play it ahead for Kane, but taken away here. Lokdianov darts back the other way. Mike Sislo was offside.
Well, when you mentioned Marek Sedlitsky, Steve, everyone has a strong opinion. Some people like him, some think he gives the puck away too much, this and that. I don't know. I just think he is what he is, and he does a nice job for the Devils. But here's more importantly, that the coaching staff likes him because he's got the second most minutes on the team. And if they didn't like him, he wouldn't be out there. And he brings something, Steve, that a lot of defensemen don't have. Someone would say, yeah, a lot of giveaways. No, it would be his offensive thought process. He knows for you to win in the National Hockey League, your defensemen have to be part of the offense, and he tries to do that.
Has a pretty good shot to go along with that ingenuity as well, Sedlitsky. And number 2 in red is indeed the man who sends this back into the Chicago zone. Hjalmarsson is back to collect this for Chicago. Devils trying to beat the defending Cup champions and move 2 games over NHL 500 for the first time this season. Zajac works it ahead. Bouncing puck at center ice. Zubra's trying to find the handle. Marcus Kruger pinned along the boards by Yager in front of his own bench, but still going. Ben Smith sealed off by Zelina. Picked up here by Kruger. Tries to work it back towards the point. Bolig able to take this and shoot towards Brodeur. It was blocked away in front by Zelina, who's back to his skates. Loose puck taken by Zubras now for the Devils, who skates this away. 5:45 to go in the middle period. Hjalmarsson under pressure. Had it taken away by Zubras. Circles it in deep for Yager. Now Zajac trying to get on the loose puck. Here's Merrill pinching in, but it comes to Hjalmarsson instead. Gloved down by Travis in his own zone. Knocked down with a stick by Zubras. Not a high stick. We play on all the way into the Chicago zone. And here's Johnny Aduya. Now at the age of 32, Cup winner with the Blackhawks last year. Taken off the near boards by Taves, but Chicago is offside on the pass, and with 5:05 to go, we're still tied at 1.
Chico, first off, I want to know where you found that footage of Joel Quenneville and Mike Kitchen back in the early 80s. I didn't know they had TVs back then, but great to see guys and former teammates of ours, even though I had a cup of coffee with them. Great guys, and it was great catching up with them in Chicago. Different story tonight, guys, than we saw a week ago in Chicago. The Devils moving their legs much better, executing their passes better, and moving the puck to open areas and skating to it, not having so many turnovers like they did a week ago. So real good hockey game we got going in Chicago, and a lot of passionate Chicago fans here, which I always respect them. They're great fans.
Well, that's a special spot for you. There's so many, Kenny, but that's where you and your team first made the playoffs against this team, as you remember. You scored the big goal that night, didn't you? A third assist, yeah.
You mentioned the fans. There's a great faction of Chicago fans on a 2-game junket here to the New York, New Jersey area. Made their presence loud and clear at the Coliseum last night. been held in check so far here tonight. 1-1 game. Andy Green throws it towards goal and deflected off a leg and out of play. Okay, let's get back to the Cadillac trivia question. Stan Fischler has been of no help. Ice hockey was introduced to the games at the 1920 Summer Games. Which 7 countries competed? You want to start this?
Well, let's think about this. Who played winter sports then? Okay, Canada was in it. I think the U.S. And then you had teams like Switzerland. I would think Germany. The one that surprised me, because I remember Britain.
The
Belgium.
host country, Belgium. Yes, the games were in Antwerp that year.
Oh, the Czechoslovakia. Was it called that then? Maybe France. I mean, Russia wasn't in it. If you remember, there's a minor, major revolution going on. So they hadn't really started their hockey program. As we're going to get a penalty now, and it's going to be against the Hawks for holding.
Slamming his stick to the ice was number 52, Brandon Bolig, but the penalty is against Kruger, it appears.
Yeah, it's Jacob Josephson's best friend, Marcus Kruger. Jacob stayed over and visited with him over the holiday season, and I can see why he's a little bit upset. Let's see here. Well, he reaches around over the shoulder. You got to call it, Steve. I know players hate that because their intent wasn't to hook him, but once you wrap that stick around opposition's body, you're liable.
Off the draw, Zidlitsky blocked away by Ben Smith, and Zidlitsky gets just enough of Smith to slow him up.
How good a play was that? That was as good an interference call without getting a penalty as I've seen.
An ounce more, and Zidlitsky goes to the box, doesn't he? Now Green plays it across. Return pass for Jágr. Broken up by the Hawks. Duncan Keith on the loose puck, sweeps it away from Boucher, but Boucher works it back towards the point. Zajac covering, throws it across here to Zidlitsky. Now the Devils set up. Here's Andy Green at the top, gives here to Zidlitsky. Drops it back for Green. Andy to the circle. Boucher with power play time across to Zidlitsky. Now Green firing, deflects towards Ranta. He makes the save. Another penalty is coming up, and this time it's against New Jersey.
I think it's going to be Jágr. I don't know. Andy Green just snaps the stick of Jonathan Toews on the blast. And then it was after that, I'm not sure. The puck goes into the corner, and I don't know if Jarmer was trying to help a teammate get there first. There you see the stick breaking in two. And to reach in. Oh boy, that's close. Hjalmarsson can't get his stick on the puck, but you know, I'd just like to sit down with someone and say, with an official, and just say, is it just because he touched the glove ever so slightly? Is that the deciding factor? Because Jarmer may have just made a little bit of contact with the glove, but not much. But enough, I guess.
4-on-4 for the next minute 12 for Stieg and Henrique. Adam won the face-off back, and here's Zidlitsky. So there's open ice out there as Jelinek takes in his own end. Jágr for hooking at 16:43. Here's Dinas Zubris for New Jersey. He and Henrique, the forward tandem here in the 4-on-4. Keith tried to play it ahead. Zubris creating chaos in the attacking zone and trying to control here with Henrique, but work free to the stick here of Duncan Keith. Chicago's all-star defenseman plays it ahead. Brandon Saad drops it back for Keith. Played across here. Brent Seabrook over the line. He'll fire in. Puck winds around for Stieg, waiting for it. He's checked by Zidlitsky. Jarred loose, and Marek will skate it away himself. Devils with a 4-on-2 here if they want it. Zidlitsky now takes it in deep. Centering try. Oh, he was looking for Henrique. Still loose in front and batted away by the Hawks. All the way back, Gianta with the Lyle Oeterlein-like pass to Brodeur and played all the way back towards the Chicago end. Nicoletti played it ahead, taken away by the Devils. Here's Gianta. Throws one in front. Backhand try by Zajac, and he shot it wide. Chicago power play for the next 40 seconds. Kruger out of the box. Pass for Kane. Picks it up on a second try. Tries the power move. Shot. Saved by Brodeur. Bodies crashing in the crease. Green went down, and it's cleared away.
Well, the goalie's grabbing the spotlight right now, Steve. Both of them making big saves in the last 10 or 15 seconds.
Quickly ahead. Kane off the feed from Sharp. Plays it into the corner. Patrick Kane controls. Kane gives here to Sharp. Gives to Kane. Played down low. Taves. A lot of firepower on for the Hawks. Shot by Keith. Wouldn't go. Taken away by Carter. He'll skate it back the other way. Penalty time is up. Yager's out of the box. The pass for Lokdianov from Ryan Carter just missed.
Nice play by Keith to deflect it away, Steve. Just got the toe of the stick on that pass.
Shaw for Chicago. Bump by Watfane. Kane plays it back to the point. Here's Hjalmarsson for the Hawks. Shot through traffic. Loose in front of Brodeur. And Marty Brodeur, with a slew of humanity in front of him, is able to hold on. 54 seconds to go in the period.
Fantastic save by Brodeur. The puck was going high. He was up on his toes. It hits the ice. But look at all these good plays here. Now Gionta moves back towards the blue line, so he's got room to make that pass. And Zajac either hits the goaltender, fires it wide, and here comes Kane taking it to the net, and the jam, and then the shot from the point here. Watch, Marty's going up, but then Kane through some legs just whacks at it. He's at his best when there's bodies and loose pucks. Patrick usually gets to him. He did again there, but Brodeur was able to lay down that left pad and rob him.
Off the draw, Hjalmarsson at the point for Chicago. Brandon Saad works it free in the corner. Hawks trying to keep the Devils pinned in, but it deflects here out to center. Poked ahead by Hjalmarsson. Saad under pressure at center ice, sent into the Devils zone. Look out, Brandon Saad puts the brakes on and shoots, and that might have gone off Salvador and deflected wide. Quickly ahead to Dinas Zubris. Devils in transition. Dinas over the line. Floats one on a backhander. Ronta was paying attention. This is behind the goal, taken here by Travis Zajac. Centering try. And just missing was Bernier in front. Here's Marian Hossa with 15 seconds left in the period. 2-on-2. He's got Saad with him. That's Marty Brodeur, looking like Luis Aparicio, who loved it and played it. Played here at the circle. Hossa gets another shot away, trickles wide, and the second period will come to an end.
Hold on, we got to revisit that. Luis Aparicio, I remember him. He was a great little shortstop. And Marty Brodeur is a big goalie, and he's showing it tonight. I mean, he had some tough saves, and Gionta saying, thanks, buddy. And Marty says, hey, pretty nice pass, great back check. But Devils very much in sync. And just what a great hockey game, Steve. One of the best of the year here at home, and third period's going to decide the next couple of points.
The 2014 Coors Light NHL Stadium Series showdown between the Devils and Rangers is sold out. The only way to access tickets is to become a Devils season ticket holder. Don't miss your opportunity to see history in the Bronx. Secure a full or half-season plan now. Log on to NewJerseyDevils.com or call 1-800-NJ-DEVIL to find the best plan for you. A 1-1 game. 18 shots for the Devils, 17 for the defending Stanley Cup champions. The Maven stops by with Deb and Dano on the second intermission report presented by Mazda when we come back. Tonight's second period scoring summary brought to you by Hyundai. 1-1 game, third period set to begin. Patrick Sharp from Jonathan Toews at 1:34. The Devils had a very quick response less than a minute later. Andy Green on a great setup from Steven Gionta. Steve Bernier had the other assists, and the Devils tied the game. 18 shots for New Jersey, 17 for Chicago, with 40 minutes in the books. This marks the second half of the NHL season beginning for the Devils. After tonight, some scheduling quirks. They are done with some of the toughest teams on the left side of your screen in the National Hockey League. After tonight, Devils are done with Chicago. In that group as well, Pittsburgh, Anaheim, Los Angeles, Vancouver, and Winnipeg. Teams they have not seen but coming up quickly include Dallas, Florida, Colorado, Phoenix, and St. Louis. They've more than held their own against those top teams on the left of your screen. Victory in LA, in Anaheim, beating Pittsburgh twice here at the Rock. But this is a big third period set to begin. 1-1, that's the man with the goal for New Jersey.
Well, the two big lines face each other, Steve. It's hard to tell which line is going to be the line that becomes the hero tonight, because this has been as competitive a game as I've seen. And neither team really getting much of an edge, but only one shot difference between the two.
Hjalmarsson gets that away from Dinas Zubris back the other way. Patrick Sharp on a loose puck, able to walk in, poked away by Mark Fane, and got it.
Mark Fain's looking around. And what a play by Mark Fain. Now, again, Andy Green's going to pinch down. You got to live with some of this stuff. And Andy Green's down there, but he gets a chip by him. But watch this play by Mark Fain. Oh, that's terrific. He chops the stick of Sharp, but not the legs. Watch here. Gets the stick, not on the gloves. Then a little push with his right hand.
Oduya for Chicago. Throws it off his own teammate in Tays and taken here by Ryder. Every Devils fan had a flashback to Sharp scoring on a breakaway in the last meeting between these teams, surely. Hossa tries to work it ahead for Tays. Instead, Chalmerson across for Johnny Oduya. Spent the first 4 years of his NHL career with the Devils, Johnny Oduya. Unsure if he's looking at a return trip to the Olympics for Sweden. Merrill winds this around to Steve Bernier, who sends it back towards the Chicago end. No icing. It's waved off here. Duncan Keith for Hanzus. And across to Brent Seabrook. Opening minutes, period 3. John Merrill back in his own end. Saad tried to center it, taken away by Gianta, who's had a heck of a game tonight. And here's Steven Gianta punching it ahead for Steve Bernier. Taken away by Keith, though, and now Ziglitsky chips it out of the zone. Seabrook, outlet pass. Kane, nice job to collect and control, and now tries to make his way around. Jelena, they score! Crashing the net was Brandon Saad, and the Blackhawks take the lead.
Unbelievable bad luck. I don't know what you can do here. Saad is going to go to the net and then turn parallel to the puck. Now here you see Jelena pushing on Kane. Kane is somehow able to take one last whack at it, and then watch the feet down low here on your screen. Well, it might have even hit Marek Ziglitsky. I don't know. Marty Brodor's going with the stick. Marty went for it, missed. I think it hit the foot of Marek Ziglitsky, so it may not be Saad's goal.
Quick shot by Boucher is held by Antti Ranta.
But, you know, that would be Kane's type of MO. He scores from everywhere. Now let's watch the stick here. Misses. I think it missed the skate, unless it just slightly grazed Saad's skate. But Kane with a good job of getting it there. I think it's going to be Patrick Kane's goal. That's the way I would read it, unless Saad can convince Kane that I actually hit my foot. That'd be his 24th of the season. I'll have to wait, but just a nothing play, Steve. But you hear that cliche, just send pucks to the net, Well, there's an example of a result.
Here come the Blackhawks again, a 3-on-2, but luckily for the Devils, Kruger was offside.
He's not happy, but I know you're playing fourth line, young man, and you're trying to get in, but you were offside. Now look at down low. Does it hit Saad at all there? Well, from that angle, now let's see, from that angle, yeah, but there it goes past Saad and then hits something. The other angle looked like it hit his skate first, but I think it hit Ziglitsky, but it could have just grazed Brandon's skate, so we'll have to wait. And they may have to talk to the players to sort that one out.
Either way, Patrick Kane, who had not registered a point in the last 2 games, and for him that constitutes a major drought, is off the schneid. Kane had a point in a career-high 14 consecutive games prior to 2 games ago. Here's Oduya over the line for Chicago. Tries to work his way around Vane, and now Andy Green back in his own zone. Devils trailing for the 2nd time tonight. Pounded by Patrick Sharp. Hossa behind the net. Tays worked it free. Comes back to the point here. Duncan Keith with a shot. Deflects off a leg. Gloved away by Andy Green. Back to Keith. Across for Seabrook. Played to the corner. Sharp! He scored! From the Sharp angle. Patrick Sharp to make it 3-1.
So the sharpshooter from the Sharp angle. And this is what the Hawks can do to teams. Now, Devils came out, Steve. They just broke down a couple times. There were a couple, there was a partial breakaway, a 2-on-1, and kind of a fluky goal, but there's nothing fluky about this. This is just brilliant passing. This is going from one side of the ice way across, and then that is one tough angle. I don't know if Patrick's looking to just bury it straight in there, or he's looking to ricochet it off Marty Brodeur. But the Thunder Bay, Ontario native shows why, Steve, he has exploded into being one of the most lethal goal scorers in the National Hockey League.
Chicago out for more. Kane with the power move tries to throw one in front, and the net comes off the mooring as they crash into Brodeur.
Well, Patrick Kane, Steve, you know, he had 3 shots, had 1 goal, had a breakaway early, had a good chance in the second. Marty robbed him, but you just keep giving him those kinds of quality scoring chances, and he's going to find some holes.
Patrick Sharp was the NHL's first star of the week shortly after that first big game against the Devils. Jonathan Toews probably has as much pull with Team Canada as any player on the team, perhaps with the exception of Sidney Crosby. He said, if Sharp is not on the team with me, I would not be able to understand why. He's been that good. So a 3-1 lead. The mountain gets a little bit steeper for the Devils to climb, and Keith has this for the Blackhawks. Still plenty of time. Just under 17 minutes to go. At center ice, taken here by Seabrook, and ahead for Brandon Saad. Dishes off here. Kane into the glove of Brodeur, who holds on.
Well, everybody who watches hockey loves a super slow motion. And there you see that last goal. And the man running it's one of the best in the business. He's part of our family. His name's Jack Williams. He's going in for a medical procedure. He's got a great chuckle. Hey, Jack, we're going to miss you, buddy. Get well as quick as possible and come back and join us. So, Jack, you just stay well, and we want to say a big hello to Dave Bremer. He's also on the IR as far as our team goes, Steve. He had a little medical procedure. He's not here tonight. We're hoping he returns by the time we come back on the air at the end of next week.
Affectionately known as Daisy, we're missing one of our best in the truck, doing our best to compensate for his absence here tonight. Devils and Blackhawks have played a whale of a game. Chicago with a 2-goal lead, thrown in front and now behind the net as it deflects here and picks up by Zidlitsky. Passes behind Zubris and comes all the way backwards, collected here by Hjalmarsson.
Well, Devils need a big game play here. Somebody's got to make a kind of a heroic goal, or they got to get a bounce. But they need it soon. These Hawks are pretty good when they've had the lead.
Brodeur throws into the corner. Feint. Work free to the stick of Andre Lockdiana. Team so pleased, we're sure, with its effort through the first 2 periods. Devils only once in the last 8 have lost in regulation. Looking for the comeback here. Played across to Andy Green. Deflected ahead. Lockdiana got a stick on it. A stoppage on an offside call. Lexus brings us a look at the Devils' upcoming schedule. We're live in Buffalo tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on MSG+2. Devils Flyers here Tuesday. That's on the NBC Sports Network. And Devils Stars for the first time this year, Thursday, here at The Rock on MSG+.
Well, it's a funny game, you know. It's not just the fact that Devils gave up the lead. It was really a fluky goal from the sideboards. But it was just a look that they didn't have to start the third that they had to start the first and second.
Takeaway here by Ryder. Throws one in front. Ronta with the stop and the centering drive by Henrique. Taken away by Chicago. Toews across for Hossa. Here's Marian Hossa. His shot, that's held by Brodeur.
Well, Steve, you look at goals and then you can say, well, how many shots has he taken? Generally, a guy who scored a lot of goals takes a lot of shots, and that's the case with Patrick Sharp. He's second overall in the NHL. Got 4 tonight, 2 of them goals. Had 2 goals against the Devils the last game, and he has been a Devil killer. But you know, your Toews is a great passer. Hossa protects the puck and passes as well as anyone. So he's got some great setup men with him, and then, as we just saw, he can really finish it off.
Another thing about that top line, and Sharp is part of it. Jonathan Toews won the Selke Trophy last year. All 3 of these guys could be candidates for that, including Patrick Sharp, both responsible two-way players who put up great offensive numbers. Henrique plays this across for Michael Ryder. Swept away by Duncan Keith. Tays drops this for Hossa. Walks in and shoots. He scores. Marian Hossa.
Well, you featured this line, Steve, at the top of the show because you knew how dangerous they were, and the Devils kept them at bay so well. I mean, they couldn't get going, this group, on the power play, 5-on-5, and then the third period here. Duncan Keith with a no-little-look backhand pass, and Hossa rips that upstairs over the glove. But just too many wide-open shots coming now for the Hawks. And Marian Hossa is one of those players, Steve, you think, oh, how good is his shot? It's special because it is going much faster than we or a goalie recognizes. And there he just beats Marty up over the mitt.
So his 15th of the year to make it 4-1. The place has gone largely silent with the exception of that faction of Hawks fans, but I think there are 16,000 people in the building thinking what I'm thinking. I didn't see this coming.
No, that's really a good point. No, absolutely not. After the first two periods where the Devils had an edge and shot by a goal, they get great scoring chance, and they weren't breaking down much. But here, just all come apart after that fluky goal that Kane got from the boards.
Sent out to center. Bernier lets it go for Ryan Carter and now fires in. Sharp his 24th. Kane his 24th. Hossa his 15th. All in the first 5:34 of the third period. Brent Seabrook back in his own end. Pass for Chris Versteeg. Reaching out for the loose puck, Lockdiana. And with help from Zidlitsky, it's taken away by the Devils. Funnels one ahead for Mike Sislo, who dumps in. Seabrook gets it away from him. Holding the zone, Lockdiana. Sends it back in deep. Sislo and Boucher deep in the zone. Teammates at Albany several weeks ago. Holding the zone is Marek Zidlitsky. Plays it ahead. He's got Boucher. His shot blocked away. Hawks player is down. That's Seabrook. And we play on. Lockdiana takes the puck here for the Devils. Plays it across. Zidlitsky shoots. He scores!
Wow, what a turn of events. This is just incredible. Boucher, we know he's got a hard shot, and so does Brent Seabrook now because he gets felled by this shot. And of course, the whistle's not going to go until the Hawks touch the puck. Here you're going to see number 7 right here. So he goes down. He's virtually out of the play, and everybody kind of wondered what was going to happen next. He struggles to get up, but he's not in position, and that allows Lockdiana to fill in where he would have been and just shovel it over to Zidlitsky, and he shoots back against the flow off the inside of the pipe. And you know, Steve, we talked about it. These are never say die Devils. And let's just wait and see. Lots of time left. Almost 13 minutes to score 2 goals.
Zidlitsky's 4th of the year to keep this interesting. Hjalmarsson tries to punch it deeper into the zone. Work 3 here by the Hawks. Kruger laid it across. Deflected off Merrill and now sent back into the Devils' end. 12.5 to go. 4-2 hockey game. They pick up Jágr at center ice. Jágr over the line. Drops it for Zajac. This deflects behind goal. Hjalmarsson trying to shake loose of Jágr and gets it here to Duncan Keith. Reverses course and sends it back towards the Devils' end. Merrill ahead for Zajac. Return pass from Jágr. Here's Zajac walking in. He shoots in a riser that just missed over the crossbar. Sharp can't clear the zone. Brookbank under some pressure and now taken here at center by Chicago. Loose puck gobbled up here at center ice by Henrique. Michael Ryder over the line. Devils stay onside, but it's poked free by Nick Leddy.
His 6th of the season, assisted by number 21, Andre.
Lockdiana, the primary assist on the goal from Marek Zidlitsky.
And number 15, Reed Boucher.
Reed Boucher, his 5th National Hockey League point.
Goal 709, Reynolds goal. Zidlitsky is 6th from Lockdiana.
Reed digging at it. Pinned against the boards by Jesus. No whistle yet. Hanzus comes away with it. Brodeur swatted it away from Michael Hanzus behind goal. Staying with it, Patrick Sharp. Back to the point here. Aduya's shot is blocked away. Here's Johnny Aduya. Inching in now, sends it into the corner. Back to Aduya again. Going for Saad in the redirection, but it's broken up by Mark Vane and taken here by New Jersey. Ryan Clough waits for it at center, buys some time. Devils will use this for a change. Gianta steps on. This is a line that's made a difference tonight with Bernier and Carter. Hjalmarsson back in Chicago's zone. Aduya able to play this across. Carried over the line. Kruger has this for Chicago. Picks up Duncan Keith. His drive and a riser that goes over Brodeur on the crossbar. Gianta tries to funnel it out of the zone. Good pressure here by the Hawks. Ben Smith is able to hold the zone. And now it's sent back out to center.
Problem playing the Hawks team, they battle as hard for the puck as the other team does. Devils are really trying, but I got to tell you, I've been impressed with the Hawks in the last few minutes.
Here's Zidlitsky again, over the line, plays it across, tried to feed Boucher, but broken up. Picked up by Chicago, and here's Sharp for the Blackhawks. Patrick Sharp walks in, throws it across, looking for the cutting Jonathan Toews. Taken by Hossa. Marian Hossa continues. Gives here to Leddy. He'll send it in deep and wind it around. Sharp waiting for it on the opposite side. And now Hossa once again. Here's Jonathan Toews. Plays it across. Sharp at the side of the net. Sees it taken away. Gianta quickly on it. And the Devils will use this to change, but taken here by New Jersey. And a quick shot by Boucher is saved by Antti Ranta. 9 minutes to go. Clough kicks at it, sends it deeper into the Chicago zone where Brookbank sends it across for Leddy. Hawks work it out to center. Here's Hanzus playing it across for the dangerous Patrick Kane. On a backhand, Kane tried to maneuver, sends one in front, but taken away by Henrique. They're a handful.
Well, you know, you said, Steve, that the game just got more interesting with the Zidlitsky goal on your right, but you know what else is going to keep this game interesting? The Hawks don't sit on 2 goals. They keep going. It's still run and gun. So the Devils may give up a few more, but they're going to have some chances offensively if they stay with it.
They have shut down guys. They just don't shut it down. They keep going. Seabrook played in deep. Here's Saad controlling for Chicago. They feed Keith, going for the redirection where Kane was lurking in front. Seabrook trying to hold the zone and picked up again by Chicago. They won't leave the offensive zone. Saad bumps with Gianta. And now Kruger in the corner.
Yeah, penalty now. Devils get another opportunity. They've been coming on since they scored that last goal. Now they'll get a chance to do it with a man advantage.
With Patrick Kane in the box, here's the Tri-Honda Dealers game recap. Patrick Sharp scoring 2 goals against the Devils for the 2nd time this year. Andy Green has his 7th. Patrick Kane is among the goal scorers for Chicago. It's 4-2, 7:56 to play.
Well, Jack Williams, our super slow motion cameraman, finishing strong here with a good look at that last penalty. Kane didn't like it, but he reaches over and hooks back the arm of Steven Gianta, who then spins, loses the puck. Steven's eyes are all on the referee. His hands up, and the Devils could draw within 1 if they can get a goal here.
Kane for hooking at 12:04. Power play tonight is 0 for 3. Andy Green back to the point. Zidlitsky can't hold the zone, and the Devils have to reset.
Steve, I think they want to get the puck in Yager's hands down low if they can.
Marek across for Reed Boucher, who dumps in. Yager lets it go. Work back towards the point. Zajac feeds Andy Green. Zidlitsky fires, didn't get all of it, and it's cleared away by Kruger.
Oh, here comes Yager back, basically saying, give me that puck. And he's roaring out and that's where you want to get it to. Whoop.
From Andy Green.
He cut it in traffic, Steve. It wasn't the best move, but they'll try it again. But this is the key, is to get that puck up the ice and beat some Hawks on the way up doing it.
High pressure from Chicago. Zidlitsky carries this over the line. Puts the brakes on. Sends Henrique on his way. He had Boucher alone in front. That pass broken up by Aduya. Taken here by Jágr. Played across. Here's Zhelinov for the Devils. Able to control. Buy some time. Played it across for the cutting Jágr in traffic. Oh! Zhelinov had it lined up. Devils maneuver the puck away, and now Henrique has got it. From the circle, a shot blocked away. Loose at the side of the net. Jamming at it in New Jersey. Taken here by Jágr. Back to Zhelinov. Return pass for Jágr. Devils reset. Half a minute to go on the man advantage. Back to the point here. Zhelinov gives here. Zidlitsky scores!
Oh! What a shot! What a play! Marek Zidlitsky just takes this game into his own hands. He scored the last 2 goals, but Steve Blow misses off the side. One of the things that's looking better and better for the Devils on the power play is their ability to retrieve loose pucks. I said, get it in the hands of Jágr, which he does. Then I think it was Boucher it was Henrique that gives it back to Zhelinov, and that nice play by Henrique Zhelinov, and then Marek has to take it off his skate. And this is where he scored against Ottawa. Could there be a repeat? Devils came back in a big way against, Washington. And Marek Zidlitsky scored that big one on the short side there. He does it again tonight.
6:10 left, regulation time. Power play goal by Zidlitsky to get it within 1 as Carter dumps in. Bernier delivers a hit on Nick Leddy. Crashing into the zone is Gionta. Devils trying to create chaos in the Chicago zone. Work back to the point here by John Merrill. Across for Salvador. Wrist shot goes wide. Picked up here by Merrill, who punches it back in deep. Zhelinov and Henrique get the assists at 12:37 for New Jersey, and just dumping this high and out of harm's way is Kruger. Salvador punches it back towards the Chicago end. Here's Sislo. Had to buy some time. Feeds Boucher. Walks in, shoots and fires wide.
Oh, Reed would like to have that one back, Steve. He went the same place that Zidlitsky did, but just missed that far corner.
Bain plays it ahead. Devils have a second life here. Sislo for Boucher. Throws it across. Picked up here by Loktionov and worked back to the point. Shot deflected. Picked up here, Loktionov in the corner. He's ridden off by Jesus. Devils with a surge now, trying to get the game tied. Bain shoots, the redirection. Just missed the stick of Reed Boucher. Picked up here by Loktionov. Back to the point, Green. Gives here to Fane. Pass for Boucher, got by him, and it's collected instead by Patrick Kane. Change here for the Blackhawks. The patient Patrick Kane lays it across with 4.5 to go. Here's Jonathan Toews over the Devils line. Pass to maneuver around Zidlitsky. Check by Zidlitsky. Hjalmarsson trying to hold the zone. Instead, it deflects out to center. And picked up here by Zajac. Zougras met at the line by Marian Hossa. Zajac along the far board. Great job to try to control the puck. Hjalmarsson, though, tries to take it away. Collected instead by Travis once again. Zajac back to the point. Gets it here to Merrill. His shot off a body in front. Collected by Sharp, who dumps it away.
It's Jágr's leg, and he's limping a little bit as he leaves the ice. That one hurt in a couple of ways. Didn't get to the net. Stung on the back of the calf. Let's take a look at some of tonight's Timberland Pro Hard hits of the game. There's been many. Well, the game plan is hit the other players, best players, as hard as you can. Eric Zhelinov starts that there. Leddy rocks Zidlitsky, who ends up getting a little revenge, scoring the last 2 goals. And there again, Eric Zhelinov knocking down Hawk. And so, Steve, what do we got? We got 350, 1 goal difference. Devils on the attack, shift after shift. Can they keep it going now with a very hot Adam Henrique line?
Klo and Ryder on the wings with Henrique, who has points in 4 straight games and assist on the Devils' 3rd goal. Got by Ryder. Has to chase it back at center ice and dumped in instead by Chicago. Ben Smith on the forecheck for the Blackhawks. Worked ahead by Henrique, collected here by Klo. Muscles it away and dumps into the Chicago end. Icing against the Devils. You're watching the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, your destination for endless excitement. Visit foxwoods.com now.
Well, this is a line that you'd expect, Steve, would come up big. They've been hot. Coming into this game, they had scored 3 of the Devils' last 5 goals. They haven't been nearly as effective tonight, but all it takes is one.
Off the draw, Jelena. Henrique for Clough, and now Michael Ryder at center ice. Gets it around Duncan Keith. We'll see a lot of this top defensive pairing for Chicago the rest of the way surely. Picked up here by Boucher in the corner. Tries to work it back. Trying to get on this is Jelena. Beats Kane to the puck. Throws it in front, and Ronta holds on. Devils fans, stay tuned. The Devils post-game show is presented by Esurance. We'll have locker room reaction, the star of the game, Ken Danico's breakdown, and much more on the Esurance Devils postgame.
Well, he's got 2 in a row. Can he make it a natural hat trick? Devils fans are certainly hoping so, Steve. And he'll be up in the mix of things. He's now with Jelena, 2 shooting defensemen at the point.
Yager is back on for the Devils with Zubris and Zajac. Work free. Kruger plays it across and picked up here by Chicago. Bollig under 3 minutes to play. Devils need a goal to top. Jelena's pass deflects off one of the referees and taken here by Zidlitsky instead. Out to center. That pass got by Zajac. Punched ahead. Zidlitsky has it for the Devils. Gives to Yager. Funnels one ahead. Zajac on the loose puck. Able to control. Gives to Yager. Garamir knocked down by Johnny Aduya. Hjalmarsson works it free. Andy Green pinching in. Keeps it alive. Puck stays in playoff glass. Collected here by Yager. Green takes. Dishes back for Jaromir. Yager under pressure. Still control. Sent it across. It got by Zajac's stick. Picked up here by Zidlitsky. Centering try by Marek. The first time doesn't go. Second time picked up by Yager. Now back to the point for Andy Green. His wrist shot redirected just wide. Yager picks it up off the backboard. Gives here to Zidlitsky again. Pressure for the Devils. Green wrist shot. Blocked away by Hjalmarsson. Zajac. And the Devils trying to keep Chicago pinned in. It's jarred loose, and it comes out to center. Blackhawks exhausted from that last shift, needed the change. Sent here to John Merrill, and played ahead for Ryder. Jumps in with a minute and a half to go. Keith plays it ahead. Sharp picks it up. In on a breakaway. Patrick Sharp, he scores! Brodeur went for the poke check, and instead, a hat trick for Patrick Sharp. Likely puts it away for Chicago.
Well, that's the kind of team the Hawks are. You got it pinned in, you're zipping the puck around, come close to scoring, but then they get that one chance. And Johnny Merrill was coming up, trying to be aggressive. It bounced by him. And I got to tell you, Sharp's a shooter. I'm surprised a little bit that he was looking for that poke check, because he certainly was. And why Marty goes for it, he has it on his backhand. He's got it on his backhand here. Brodeur thinks, I'm going to get him. I'm going to jump him. But Marty wasn't able to stretch quite far enough. Let's see how close that is. Oh, my. Just missed it by an inch, but it is a game of inches. And now it looks like the Hawks have a stranglehold on this game. Fourth career 3-goal game for that man. And like I say, Steve, one of the greatest trades Chicago Blackhawks ever made was calling Philadelphia that day and asking for him, and they got him, and he's just been a great player for them ever since.
5 goals against the Devils this season for Patrick Sharp. Here's Boucher firing. That's gloved by Ronta with 1:17 left.
Well, it was a great hockey game. That man spoiled it if you're a Devils fan. It's 5 goals in 2 games he's had against the Devils, and he missed a couple others tonight. And of course, I shouldn't say he missed them. He had good chances. He was either stopped or defended well. But the Devils still, now if they could get one off a win here in the faceoff.
Brodeur stays in the net with 1:17 left. Back towards the point, got by Zidlitsky, and Jelena retreats back into his own end. Chopped out by Hjalmarsson, picked up here by Smith. And worked across for Brandon Bollig. Sharp's third goal of the game, 25th of the year. Duncan Keith with a 3-assist night for Chicago. Leads all NHL defensemen in scoring. Start of play tonight, only Joe Thornton and Sidney Crosby in the league had more assists than Duncan Keith, a defenseman. Picked up here. Green at center for Gelinas. 35 seconds to go. Brodeur will stay in the net. Seabrook hounded here by a couple of Devils. Puck taken away by Bernier. Backhand try by Carter, and it rests under the glove of Antti Ranta.
Devils still trying. But you know, we came in saying the Hawks, top scoring team in the National Hockey League goals-wise. Best scoring team, most goals on the road. That's what you live with when you play the Hawks. You know, you can do some nice things offensively, but if they get a chance, there's going to be a good scoring chance. And then when they're finishing like they did tonight, like they didn't do last night in the Island, that's the difference. Tonight they got 5. Last night they only got 2, but they had some great chances then too.
Well, you talked about the Devils' prowess in the second half of back-to-back games. That's been Chicago's strength as well. This will make them 8-0-3 in that situation in their last 11. Shot by Carter, deflected just wide. And the final seconds here at Prudential Center, we'll see the Blackhawks celebrate a 5-3 win.
Well, the Devils did play better, Steve, after being embarrassed in Chicago. But this one hurts because they know that they played toe-to-toe with the Hawks for 2 periods. And then something early in that third just wasn't in sync for them. And the Hawks, with kind of a lucky goal for the second, and then a dandy after that, goal 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 were real good. So Devils have to digest this one, get on a bus and a plane and head up to Buffalo and win the one tomorrow night.
Chicago with an NHL leading 66 points. We're back in a moment.